here to create a power shift, which is about shifting power from coal to renewable energy. But it's like more than that, it's about shifting the old congealed fossil fuel politics and that moribund fossil fuel politics that is literally killing our future. And it's about shifting that to a people-powered politics where people who are concerned about the future and who are standing up for life, motivated I think by a real love of life, are organising for change and real action on climate change. There are so many benefits in terms of local environmental improvements as well as averting a climate catastrophe. And, you know, I mean, cleaner cars, less urban pollution. I mean, there's a really inspiring and exciting future ahead of us if we grasp the opportunity. But if we don't, then, you know, we're going to be leaving our children with a very uncertain future. I think, you know, Bunnings employs more people than the entire Australian coal industry. The fact is that our future is being held to ransom by a very small number of companies who are pursuing their vested interest. And they use this jobs argument, they use economics to try and stop action. But what they really want to do is just protect their own profits. You know, study after study has shown that it's in Australia's economic interest to take action on climate change. It's not about economics, it's about politics, it's about power, and that's what this conference is about. It's creating that power shift. If we can put people on the moon, we can power our homes and our factories with renewable energy. Whether it's solar thermal, wind, geothermal, you name it. What we should do to start off with, ban new coal power stations, ban new coal mines, and then begin that urgent transition. And we think we could replace every coal power station in this country probably within a decade. We need to close down the export coal industry. Absolutely. We shouldn't be doing it, you know, overnight. We're not talking about tomorrow, but certainly within the next 5 to 10 years, we should be coming up with a plan now to wind it down over that period. And we can come up with other industries to replace it, whether that's you know, in renewable energy creation or, you know, building renewable energy manufacturing industries here so we can be exporting our expertise to other countries. We've really led the way in innovation and technology development. Because of lack of government policy here, a lot of those real innovators are moving overseas. So we see David Mills heading off to the US, we see other entrepreneurs going back to China. All over the world, people are using Australian technology to drive the industries of the future. Now that's a real shame on our country, and it's a shame on our government for not putting in place the support that's needed to create jobs here in Australia. I grew up in Rockhampton, up in central Queensland. My father spent his entire working life as an engineer in the coal industry. I followed in his footsteps to some extent. I studied engineering and did a business degree at university. And when I graduated, I wrote to every single company in this country that had anything to do with renewable energy. And, you know, there weren't very many of them, and none of them had any jobs for graduates. And so I ended up taking a job in building equipment for the coal industry, the gas industry, and the nuclear industry. And then after about 3 or 4 years of that, I remember it was a beautiful, clear winter's day, and I looked out the window and I just decided that I couldn't do it anymore. I didn't want to be looking back at my life when I was 70 and deciding that, you know, I'd basically just helped somebody else get rich, destroying the planet. So I quit, and I did what every self-respecting young person should do, and went out and forest blockaded and tried to protect some of Australia's ancient forests. Then set up a small recycling business and gradually came on a journey back to working on energy issues and coal issues, but from a different angle. Now working with Greenpeace to try and create a transition from coal to renewable energy. And, you know, it took a while, but with full support from my father and with full support from a lot of his friends in the coal industry who realised that that change needs to happen. This conference, I think, is a sign that that's starting to change. Young people are looking at the future that's on offer from them, from politicians and the corporate sector, and saying, actually, it's not good enough. We've got better ideas. And so we're starting to see this real bubbling up of activism, which is very important to be coming from universities, but there's also an important educative function and a research function